Hey.
Hello.
Good.
How you doing?
Good. How y'all doing?
We're good.
Good.
Y'all look all nice, skin glowing.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Trying to get our lighting like you. We're trying to be like you.
Okay.
Can you hear us all right? You can hear us good?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. First of all, I have to say, I love you, Danny. Like, always supporting us and just a dope person. I actually was on Facebook the other day and I was like, you had a whole prom album for my prom. I was like, wait, Danny posted this? I was just telling Kanika, like, Danny always supported me, like, and Kanisha, so we always got to support you back. So always.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Here.
I definitely did take all those photos.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into it. I don't want to hold you all up. I know y'all booked and busy. These popping songs. I love the song. I really do. You can get into it.
Oh, because y'all was having a family reunion. I did not know.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously you're a writer and a producer. So what was it like? How was it writing for yourself as opposed to writing for other people?
Yeah, that's a good question. I really feel like, well, whenever we're writing for other people, we both are pretending as if we were writing it for ourselves.
Yeah.
So, and that's because we feel like we want to be as authentic as possible. If we don't like it, then how do we expect somebody else to like it? Mm-hmm. So it's always like, okay, do we vibe with this? Do we think it's a hit? So it's something that we know that if we're gonna write it, we're gonna be able to sing it, and we're gonna be like confident that, we think this is a hit, so if we can give it to you. So I kind of feel like it was kind of the same because that's our writing process.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I started kind of adopting that, a few years back myself, like, it rather than trying to write something for someone and trying to anticipate or think about what they like. We just started making more stuff for ourselves. Like we didn't have people in mind. We stopped putting people in mind.
Yeah. Just start letting it flow instead of trying to.
Yeah.
Don't force it. It never works when you force it.
Yeah, absolutely. You feel like, well, that person ain't heard it yet. I'm the one hearing it right now. Or we're the one seeing it right now. Yeah. So we gotta like it. You know what I mean? And we just wrote for us, and we started to find that people like what we come up with anyway. So we made it more about just being in the moment and making records that are hits.
Yeah. And then so like when it came to our own album, it was like, oh, this is just like riding a bike. But it was more so the connection between us because we were writing about love and about us. So it was like
we like writing about love songs because I mean that never goes out of style. You know what I'm saying? Love songs
don't.
70s that they are today, and they're gonna be hot 100 years from now. Like love never goes out of style. So we always write about it.
That's true. So with you being a writer, like how is it writing for like other artists? Because like I told Danny, like that Selena Johnson album, Woman, that's like one of my favorite R&B albums that was released this year. And then I found out that you like wrote mostly like all of the songs that I love. So I was like, this is crazy. Like, what was that process like? Even though I watched like the behind the scenes of making the album, I just want to know from you as a writer, like how did you just sit down and come up with such like great material? Like Believer, like all of those songs, like crazy.
That was
like standing right
I do, and Kanika know I love that album. Like I play that album every day.
Yeah, that's what's up. Thank you. That was so we just weren't. We both was in there. We just weren't Ruby Gold Smoke yet.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. We both was there just working on it, and that was an interesting process because there were other chefs in the kitchen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And so that's a great way to come up with a hit. That's another great way to come up with a hit record too. A lot of times, folks, producers collaborate for records, the writers collaborate, but as we all know, rarely do people just write by themselves.
Right.
And that was a fun, interesting process. Shout out to Selena, because it's like when you meet, the saying goes, don't meet your heroes, right?
Yeah.
Because you never
Yes.
know, you never know
Yeah.
what's going on with them, right? But it was fun because Selena is the real deal, right? What she sounds like on the record is what she sounds like in person.
Oh,
And
I love that.
Yeah.
yeah, like, a lot of times it's like the Wizard of Oz. You find you thinking Oz is gonna be this great, powerful thing, and then you get to the Emerald City and you find out, Oz ain't. They got Oz behind that machine, and it's like, Oz ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
She was definitely what we hear.
And we've came across artists that were, the Wizard of Oz. They, we find out.
So have we.
Yeah.
You're a little man behind the machine. We're not gonna get into who those are. That's
Right,
not
exactly, right.
But that was she was a real deal. So she was contributing a lot to how she wanted the vocal production and how she wanted to sound. And I was just we were just listening to her as far as like the type of song she wanted to do.
Being able to just sit in the studio and just vibe with the candles lit, just be like,
oh, that's
this is what I want, and
Right.
and so I think that's one thing you always got to listen. Some people that don't listen. So as a writer and a producer, you kind of be just try to do your own thing. But if you don't listen to the artist, then you won't get the feeling.
Yeah.
What they
So
need.
getting into you guys as artists, how did you guys come up with the name for your group, Ruby Gold Smoke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very unique.
Yeah.
Very unique.
So it's funny. So two things. My birthstone is Ruby. My birthday is in July. I'm a Cancer. Hey.
Sensitive cancers.
But his mom, your mom is her nickname is Ruby. And she was a singer of their family band. They had a family band. He has a whole story about it, right? They had a family band and they traveled, and she was the lead singer. Her stage name was Caprice, but her nickname is Ruby. So it was kind of like, we wanted to pay homage to her because I've seen so many videos of her singing, them performing. He's like 10 years old playing the piano like crazy. On stage with them. So that's where the Ruby came from. And then, Gold is his favorite.
That's just like dope.
Well, hold on.
It's timeless.
Right.
It really is timeless.
And then, smoke for us is like wherever there's fire, there's smoke. So we wanted it to be like, we wanted the name to be like something that it wasn't our name.
Yeah, we did. We had a whole conversation about like, well, what our name gonna be? With the Ruby, with the red, and the Ruby with the gold. Man, Ruby gold. We had the whole thing.
Yeah, and so I think this was the one that was like, ooh, that gold. And then we was like, don't spell gold all the way because we didn't like how it looked.
That was
Okay.
I for some reason was really adamant. I was like, we not gonna spell it the traditional way though.
Right.
That was like my little offering to
I was like, why not? And I was like, is people going to pronounce it right? Are they going to say GLD? He was like, no, they're going to
get it. They gonna roll with me on this one. They gonna get it. Yeah, it was sticking.
Yep.
There we
Andrew,
are.
I have to say, like, I didn't know that you had it in you musically. I was just telling Kanika, I said she's a creative, she's a dancer. I remember you were a dance instructor. And on the step team, MKE, I remember everything. But I'm like, Demi, did she always have the voice? Because when I heard the song, I was like, she really can sing. It sounds really good. I didn't know it was in you. So was music always in you as a creative?
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know this because my close family is the only people that knew that I could sing.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody just was like, yeah, she's a dancer because that's what I did in the public. But at home, I was always singing the loudest person in the house. If the windows was down, everybody, all the neighbors heard. But when I first started singing, I was about like 5. And my uncle was a singer as well. He passed away. But he would always have me singing His Eyes of the Sparrow and Amazing Grace. And he would say, "You're going to sing in my funeral." And I was like 5, and I'm like, "Why are you telling me this? I'm a little kid." Like, but I ended up singing it at his funeral. We sung together. That was our first gig.
Wow.
So I really was like, after that, I really want to do it because, he would say, like, "You have a beautiful voice." And I'd be so shy because I was thinking, like, man, well, I don't know how to do all these riffs, like all these people with these big old voices. I just had this block in my mind, like, well, maybe I shouldn't do this. But then, it felt so good to sing, and I was like, I think I should do it. And I met my husband, and he was doing it, and it was just such an inspiration to see him singing. And I was like, I need to just do this.
I'm glad you all did it, because of course we know that that your husband, he was already an artist. I get more money than you. I remember the song being on V103 WGCI. It was a hit song, a stepper song. I remember the song. And then to see you all combine together, I was like, that's dope, because I actually do. I love groups. And I love when like a couple can get together and actually be dope together, making music, being creative, just putting out dope content.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like the name, I love the branding, the videos, like it's just perfect. And then you all got the almondy skin and glistening. I see you. I see you both.
What would you guys say musically? What was like you guys' biggest inspiration coming together when you guys came together to make your project?
Wow. I think we went back to our.
How much time is in the interview?
We want to hear it. We want to know.
Okay. Yeah, because for me, I think I went so many places, because you know what I mean. Like we just like we love when we first like had our first date. We always talked about what type of music we like. Our first date, we were like kind of like having a competition on let me show you this, let me show you that.
And we actually had that conversation too, because we love all music.
Yeah.
We just happen to be two music fans that love all different types of music. Like we actually had the conversation of, all right, so what we gonna do? Gospel, gangsta rap? What we gonna do?
Right. What's our genre?
What's our genre? Like we actually had a what's our genre conversation, because we like all of it, and we've actually may have written or produced a song for somebody in every genre. So we knew we could do it, right?
Yeah.
We knew we could be Black country artists if we wanted to.
Yeah.
And so and I think because of that, we was like, man, we'll be pop, because we can touch everything. You know what I'm saying? And that's so that sound, we thought about our favorite artists that can touch everything.
Yeah.
Folks like Prince and Janet Jackson. And we've seen Coldplay do it. We've seen, just these are all of our favorite artists, and we thought about the type of records that we love, which is a big range.
We also like the Isley Brothers.
Isley Brothers.
We love like inspiration wise for our album that's coming in November. It's like we have some country on there. We have some pop, some R&B.
You'll hear the influences, right?
Yeah.
It's all us, right? It's all cohesively us.
Yeah.
But you can, now that you know that, you can hear the influences of everybody, from James Taylor to Tony to Kobe Calais to Outkast. It's all
in there.
You get us,
A nice mix.
Right.
Love a mix. Love an eclectic mix of music.
Okay. Coronavirus is real. We're quarantining right now. Kanika and I, we don't be around a lot of people. We be around each other.
Right.
We have to be.
Unfortunately,
we have to be, So how is it for you all to be creatives? And we know that there's no live venues, like no one is having concerts and stuff like that. So how are you like reaching your audience without that up close and personal?
The traditional means.
Exactly. How are you reaching out to your audience right now?
So, first of all, I think when we first started talking about being Ruby Gold Smoke, we hadn't had the time to actually focus on our own stuff. We were still like writing for everybody else, but we had this idea, okay, we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. The pandemic gave us so much time to make music for ourselves, right? So that was a plus. And then when that happened, it was like, oh, also we have a film company because we own different businesses. And our film company is Quiet Kingdom Media Group. So a lot of the chances to get visual content came about. And it was like, oh, wait, we can music videos. And so most of our fans love visuals from us. Even when TL was our artist by himself, I was filming, I was directing, and he was directing, and it was still our visuals. So we connect with our fans a lot through visuals, through social media. We have gold members, and gold members is like our VIP
that's
fans.
our fans, yeah.
And so when they sign up to be gold members, they get exclusive things. Like they got to see the video before everybody did. They got to, hear the
Some
music.
of them got to be a part of like making the visuals and
Yeah, and then we just connect with all of our gold members that way. So yeah, if you want to be a gold member, just go to our website, rubygoldsmoke.com.
And in terms of touring, and live performances, which is something that everybody in that sector is affected. It definitely, making lemonade out of the lemons, you're able to find unique ways to connect and bring the live experience to people. And that's one of the things that this pandemic has sort of forced us to do, is become more creative with how we connect with fans. And how we make what other ways can we make the experiences more one of a kind for them?
Yeah, because we want it to be more personal,
Definitely.
And we don't want it to feel like I don't know, like back in the day, you can actually write a letter to your favorite artist.
Fan mail.
Fan club, fan mail, and so we want it to be more like intimate with our fans. So yeah.
All right, and we don't want to keep you guys, but since this is Green Means Go, really need to know, what was that pivotal moment for you guys where you guys were like, this is it. We've got to do it. We've got to make the album. We got to make the music. We've got to become Ruby Gold Smoke.
It was already like, so for me, I was being a solo artist. And if you knew us before then, if you knew us before right now, we always together, right? We're freaking Chip and Dale. And like everybody, that's, my name's not TL Williams, it's TL and Danny Jones. You know what I'm saying? And it was knowing that I knew she wanted to eventually step out front. Once I learned that, it was like, it became tough for me to explain why she's not on stage. We get to the venue, and because we're already public, like we became public figures like this.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, so she goes, sits down, and then I gotta sing all these, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what? The vibe is already here. The energy's already here.
And I was writing, I was in the studio. I think I wrote on like almost every album except his first album.
Yeah, she got writing credits and co-production credits on all 6 of the.
Oh wow!
Since we met, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think that moment for me was, it was one moment where I came to him and I was like, so I really want to do this singing thing, and I didn't know it was going to be Ruby Gold Smoke and all yet. But I was like, I really want to do this singing thing, and I want you to be my producer. And he was like, okay. And he was like,
all right, so it's like when like Michael Jordan wanted to play baseball, and I was like, okay, you're you're a dancer, You know,
Yeah.
it's a different sport. It's got a whole different set of muscles. You know, it's a whole different mindset. You know, you ain't just going just because you won 3 rings over there. Don't mean you can win a World Series over here. You need this. There's a whole set of training camp that you gotta go through.
So he looked at me like that, and I was like, okay. So then I started writing in my notebook and taking vocal lessons and doing the work for myself, because obviously he was a whole artist. Right. He's a whole artist. I'm a choreographer and dance instructor, right?
Yeah. At the same time, she's really about her, so I couldn't just hand it to her. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I gotta, as with anybody, I gotta kind of see do the work.
Yeah.
You know, it's gotta, show me that you really want it. You know what I'm saying? As with anybody in that situation.
And he saw this like work ethic in me that was like, oh, she's taking guitar lessons by herself. Like I was like,
really own it.
Like just all the time. Just he'd wake up and be like, what is she doing? Like
I already knew her work ethic. So I was like, I mean, like I said, it's similar to MJ. Like if she's not the best person in the room, 2 weeks later, she's going to be the best person in the room. You know what I mean? That's her work ethic. So I was like, I already like having her as a partner anyway. So, and then I figured why, if I got whatever I got, this is my personal standpoint as the husband and the producer in this situation. Like, all right, if I amassed what I've amassed so far with my career and what I can do in music, why have her go through the same thing and start from square one?
Exactly.
Yeah.
When we can both do it together, and it'll be fun because it's my best friend, and we can start a thing and make the music that we like in the process. So I was like, well, man, why don't we, what's up?
He came to me and was like, we can do it together. I was like, for real? Like, I was like, for real. You, the great T.L. Williams. Yeah. Like, I don't know that I respect him as if he, is our modern day Prince. That's how I respect him. So as an artist, I'm like, oh my God, yes. Oh my God. Yes. So I was like fanning out, like, oh my God, I'm about to be in the group with T.L. Williams. Oh my God. And that's how it happened. Like, it was just like that. But after we said it, we started working on things, but we didn't have the time to just focus in until the pandemic.
Running business and stuff, how the scheduling be, to kind of get in the studio and do that.
And so I feel like that was the go when it was like, okay, you can't go outside, you can't do anything, you have to stay inside, and inside our home is a studio. So it's like,
it's been creative.
Just go. Like, so we just started making, literally within 1 month, we had made 30 songs. And we were trying to figure out, okay, so what are we gonna do? There's so many songs. We just
that's a lot of songs.
Had about 30 songs on it at first, and we was like, we don't want 30 songs on the album. So we had to choose and go to this elimination process because we were pouring our hearts out.
I mean, the new single that released today, Falling. Tell us the inspiration behind Falling. We all know it's fall right now with the leaves falling. Are you guys falling in love for the process of making music? Like, the weather? Like, what was the inspiration behind Falling?
I mean,
Shout out to Away Tonight. That's my song. I love that song so much.
Thank you.
I mean, brother came through with the guitar, boom, 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 boom. She was butterfly. You know what I'm saying? That's how it went down. No, it's vibes. It was one of them days. We was just pulling up joints that we worked on. We was like, let's write to this, boom. Let's do something to that, boom. And then this joint came up. And we was just vibing to it, and I remember I had like the rough draft of it, you know, it was like was playing it on keys, and then I was like, man, you know, let me do some on guitar with it, and so, you know, pulled out the guitar with it, and then it just kind of took off. Off from there.
Yeah, and the inspiration, like, we was like 90s, 90s, you know, like, you know, we wanted it to be like 90s music. We wanted it to feel good, as well as we wanted the lyrics to talk about that moment in time when you first start falling in love with somebody, and you know, you just can't stop talking to them on the phone. You just, you know, you be texting them, you be on all the time, like you just be, and it's I started tapping into how I felt when we first met, you know, and then like tapping into like, oh man, we was on the phone for a long time. Oh, you remember this? You sent me, like, you know, just doing that, and it just came out.
And then I just, you know, I just got my little couple bars in there because I didn't want to get left off bad. Yeah, I ain't you know, take off, want to get left off bad and bougie. So
who got left off falling?
And I was like, oh, it's a group record, you know.
Yeah, so I think that's what really got it, like, made it come to fruition, was that. I don't know if, did we have any artists in mind? Like,
no.
It was just like vibes and feel.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah. It was just like you said. It was 90s R&B. Wanted the guitar to just come in, those classic songs. Yeah. So it was you know, it was that. There was, you know, think like you know, Groove Theory in the 90s, or you know, you know, when you heard that guitar on Genuine in those jeans, come on, you know. that moment, you know, that push you right in the mood immediately.
Okay, I love it. So the new album is set to be released November. Do we have an exact date, or just like right now? It's
November 19th. Okay. November 19th.
Yeah.
Revolutionary Love is the name of the album. Okay. And it comes out November 19th.
Yes. Is that the first time we said it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, exclusive.
And that's a treat for me and Kanika. We'll be boarding a plane leaving Florida, so I'll be plugged in.
Yeah, I'll be listening. That'll be my flight music.
Yes.
Also, where can people reach you guys?
Right,
for more updates.
Yeah, RubyGoldSmoke.com. Yeah, they can get all our social media there, everything. We also have actual physical CD albums that you know.
I love a good physical.
Like a physical. They don't make the physicals no more. Come on now. Yeah, give me something you can hold, feel the love.
And like the merch and the CD, the shirts, all that. You know, just because we want our fans to have something. You don't want them to be like, yeah, I'm listening to the music.
If they want to follow us on social media, it's just Ruby Gold Smoke, RUBYGLD Smoke. All one.
No O. The gold is
GLD.
Right.
Ruby Gold.
Contribution. The gold.
That's on Instagram, Facebook,
Twitter,
YouTube as well.
And we're gonna link it for you guys so that you guys know where to get in contact with them at. But thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking time out to talk to us and do this Zoom. We know it's like a weird time right now, but we really appreciate you guys being our inaugural Green Means Go guest. Yes. So thank you so much.
We appreciate you.
You gotta do it one time.
The video for Polly dropped today, so if you didn't see it, it's out.
Check that out. And then congratulations to y'all, man. Yeah. Go. Hey, Glenn, I already know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like,
building.
We appreciate it.
Pleasure.
We just did a drop. Hey, Glenn in the building. We gonna smoke.
Do we get a drop?
We got a drop.
We wasn't expecting a drop out of this.
K Brand University, Green means go.
I love it. Going.
We love it. Thank you.
Have a good day. We appreciate it.
Y'all have a good one.
Bye.